My name is Raul Diaz. I'm known as Roll Diz, and I'm based out of Austin, Texas. I was raised in a middle of nowhere town with less than 2,000 people in it. Really small town. My graduating class was like 100 people or something like that. And eventually found an opportunity to get out here to Austin, Texas. So life's changed completely upside down since getting into esports. I joined the military. I remember my school counselor was like, I didn't really take high school serious, which looking back on it was like, it's probably one of my biggest regrets. But my school counselor, I think I was getting like C's and a D and some shit like that. But my school counselor was like, so what are your plans after this? And I always thought I would go to college for the wrong reasons. Like I'd go to college, I'd just party and shit. So I didn't really want to go to college at the time. But I wanted to go to schooling, some extra schooling. So she told me like the military's hiring and they'll pay for all your schooling. I also didn't really want to burden my parents with like having to help me pay through school and stuff like that. I've always tried to be like, I guess, independent, even like at my parents' house and stuff with their support. So yeah, I joined at 17. I went through boot camp. I turned 18 at boot camp while I was there. And then I was in military from 18 to 24. I was only in National Guard, so I didn't really have to, and I literally primarily went because they would pay for schooling. So that was like that was my motivation to do it. It's because I didn't want my parents to pay, so.
Did you eventually go to school?
Nope.
How we doing?
I think you're good.
Am I good?
It open.
We're good.
Hi, my name is Andrew Nolan. I go by Andy in game, and I live in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. Yeah, I'm 20 years old, and I've lived at this place for all of my life, so it's been a really nice community. Love being here. I still live with my parents here, and it's a really good time. Yeah, I still go to school. I'm in college. I'm in my third year, my 5th semester. Yeah, so after high school, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do with my life, although I knew I was going to go to college no matter what. And I was planning on going to the University of Madison, Wisconsin, UW. It's a great campus and a great college, but it's really expensive is a big problem. And I wasn't too sure I wanted to go to university while playing Rocket League. It was gonna interfere with a lot of what I wanted to do in that sense. So I ended up going for Madison College, and it's a great place to kind of start off your education and then transfer to a different university once you get all your requirements done. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm in my 5th semester, probably my last year going. And then I'll transfer probably to UW whenever Rocket League fizzles out a little bit for me. There are esports programs here, although I'm not in the Rocket League esport just because, one, I think it would be a little bit too easy, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to add commitments to my already busy life, so don't want to commit to something that I would only be able to give half effort towards.
My name is Jirai Papazian. My in-game name is Gyro, and I'm from Queens, New York. I think I've lived here for about 5, maybe 6 years in New York. I was originally born in Baghdad, Iraq, and I moved over to America when I was around 4 years old to New Jersey. and stayed there for like, I'd say 9, 10 years. And I moved over here to New York. Nice, I'll be backward. I got it. Got it. That works. Yep, no. Just do what you love. I'm bumped like a fucker. Motherfucker. Did that pick that up? That's lit. That's lit. He bumped me. That's lit. I got it. Hey, let's go.
What was the tournament today?
It was Club Dubs #2, and we kind of did bad, but I don't know. I don't think we played that bad. We just, I guess we got second if you want to think about it like that. But we did a tryout with Talk. Thought he was really good. We're looking for a third right now, but you know, could have went better, could have went worse. Honestly, I don't even know how we lost. It just kind of happened. We played against Toasty, won the Mike Panda, and we just lost. I don't even remember. I think it was just like dumb mistakes that just led to goals. I don't think we really got outplayed that much. And I think the goals we scored were great. Like, we scored a lot of good goals, but we conceded a lot of goals that I feel like we shouldn't have conceded. But stuff happens. Like, I don't think we were all playing at our best, and you know, it's just one of those days. But it's just an off-season tournament, so I don't really care that much. But it was good practice. I liked playing. It was a fun time.
You could have shot that top corner.
He could have. That's something that I was impressed with Talk. He's a good shooter, really good shooter.
Kofor's is very mechanical in the air.
Yeah. I also think Wavy's like more of like a mechanical ground game.
Have you ever been in the situation where you've been doing scrims with 2 people locked, but you had to figure out what the third was the whole time?
I'm trying to think. I don't think that.
So kind of a new experience that you're...
Well, there's been situations, especially like previously with FaZe, that we were trying out new thirds in place of AJ, but they already had like someone in mind before I even joined the team, like officially. So I wasn't really a part of that process, which I think I needed to be. I think I should be. Like a coach should be a part of your process in terms of like who you're picking up. But that's why I'm surprised that Wavy's not really like sought after by like some of these top
I am Dylan Thanis. My username is Wavy, and I'm a professional Rocket League player for Deleted Gaming. I've been playing Rocket League since December 2016. I got the game for Christmas. May 2020 for my birthday. I turned 13. I got the game on PC. I really started playing all of these tournaments back in 2020 when I got my PC. My first ever earnings was a 2 tournament with Evo. We won $30 each. And from there on, I loved playing tournaments. I loved being able to compete for money, even though it was just $10, $20. I think one time I got like $7.50 from a tournament. I mean, it counts, you know, it all adds up. That's always my motto with tournaments, it all adds up. Winning, even if it's like $50 every Friday from a Frost tournament or anything, they really do add up. And I'm happy and proud to say that I feel like I've been able to play almost every tournament I've had the opportunity to play.
Can you go over every team that you have played with?
First team I started competing in tournaments with was with Rush and Frostacular on Young Farmers was the name. We're all 13.
What got me into the scene, RLRS, was the team I had with Mist and Hoxer, We went by Birds and the Bees.
I started my pro journey in 2020 on Stromboli with Alraz and JPow.
I started off with, I guess, like my bubble team was with Asfera and Zombie Poop Shark.
Charlotte Phoenix a couple months later with Tivar and Daunt.
And then I moved to Loco the season after with Beastabonium and Delta.
Then we picked up Ajax, got picked up by E United once we made the LAN that season, the Season 8 World Championship.
Tried out a bunch of people, landed on Reddles, so me, Reddles, Arsenal.
The following season, I signed with the Susquehanna Sonics out in Philadelphia with T-Corel and Zombie Poop Shark, or ZPS.
And I finished off that season playing with Nibra and Skills, and then Skills and Kofer.
I retired for a little bit, went into coaching. I coached the Susquehanna Sonics. That was with Sathu, Dapper, and Shock.
Me, Reddles, Mist, under the Peeps.
And then I moved to Dignitas the following season with Drees and Delta, and then we made a roster move picking up Evo the following split.
Became a player under the Sonics, then transitioned with Shock into Ghost with Line Blaze and Shock.
I joined Cheese and Sosa as Koi.
And then I went to Moist this following past season with Eris and 5UP.
So it was me and AJ looking for a third. Then we picked up Alu.
And then the off season went by, did a bunch of tryouts, and I thankfully and gratefully landed with Crimson Hockey on TSM.
And that's where I got picked up by FaZe, which was First Killer, Sipical, and Mist.
Landed on Dig with Arsenal and Evo.
At the end of the season, I decided to leave, explore my options, and now I find myself here on Deleted Gaming with Andy and Gyro.
So I've been a part of Ghost and then Deleted. That's it. So my name is Tyler. My in-game name is Tenacity TV, and I live in Tampa, Florida. So I was born in Virginia in a big kind of city area called Newport News, and I kind of moved around throughout my whole childhood and my teens from Virginia and West Virginia, and then I ended up going to college in West Virginia and moved down here, just kind of a spur of the moment decision, and honestly it was one of the best ones of my life. So I've lived in the Tampa, Clearwater, all that stuff for about 8 years now, getting close to a decade. So I started playing Rocket League, I want to say like 5 to 6 months after it first dropped. I did not have a newer console. It only came out on like PS4 and with Xbox One, I think. And I didn't have any of those consoles, but my buddies did. And we would always do like sleepovers and stuff. My dad's house had like this cool gaming room basement, big TV. And so every time they'd come over, they'd bring the PS4. And the first time I played, we normally play like Madden, but they was like, dude, you gotta try this new game. And I'm like, what is this? Cars, toy? Nah, it's not for me. But we played it, and we played Snow Day because it was a little easier at first, and no jumping, no flying, and oh my God, instantly, like day one, I was hooked, and it was to the point where we'd stay up till 4 a.m. playing, and I'd wait till they fell asleep, and I'd stay up until 6 a.m. playing by myself so I could have the full screen. And so I just loved it, and then I didn't play in college, and then when I moved to Florida and got a job and had money, I bought my console. First thing I got was Rocket League, and then ever since then, it's been like, I just have really not stopped playing. But when I started doing content, that was not really a decision that I just straight up made. It was kind of like, I played Rocket League often as a hobby, and then I would get home, play on my PS4, and then I found out that you can stream off the PS4, and I didn't know that. And I was like, why not? It's something extra to do. And so I bought like a little PS4 camera for like $50 and just started streaming. At first, of course, no viewers. My mom was my one viewer, but I enjoyed it, and my thought process was if I liked it, not if I was successful, but if I enjoyed it, maybe I would invest in like maybe a PC or just maybe like a laptop or something. And I ended up really enjoying it. And once I got the laptop, I didn't really blow up or anything, but I enjoyed it a lot more to the point where I was like, I want to do this more consistently and I want to invest some money into it. And that's when things kind of took a turn for the better. So I actually get this question a lot in stream. Like a lot of people ask, so where'd the name Tenacity come from? Google. Pretty much, my name's Tyler, right? My actual name is Tyler, and so I knew that I wanted my online name to not be some random thing, and I knew I wanted it to start with T. There's only so many cool words that start with T, you know, like tsunami and things like that. And so my thought process was, I want my name to start with T, and I want it to be something that not that many people have done, and I want it to like have some decent meaning around it. And so I looked up long or interesting words that start with T, or like adjectives, and tenacious was one. And I was like, tenacious, okay, all right, Tenacious Tyler. It's got a ring to it. Oh yeah, it was terrible. Oh my God, it was so bad. So my name for a while was Tenacious Tyler, and I got, you know, a lot of flack for it from friends. And so then I actually have a distinct memory. I was at Planet Fitness working out. I was on the toilet, you know, having my caffeine round there, and I was just on my phone, and I was thinking like, I gotta change my name. And so Tenacious, what's another form of tenacious? Tenacity. And then I thought back to all those lawyer ads, Morgan and Morgan, the lawyers with tenacity. You know, we'll go for it. We'll get the job done. I was like, that's perfect. Let me see if there's any streamers named Tenacity. There was no one named Tenacity, except Tenacity was taken. So what I do? Tenacity TV, and the rest is history.
Yeah, you know, so my in-game name is Andy just because I wanted a little bit to separate between my home life, my school life, everything like that, and my Rocket League life. And nobody calls me Andy outside of Rocket League. So that I was like, you know what? I've always somewhat liked the name Andy, but I don't want any of my friends or family calling me for it. So that's kind of where it came from. I just had a way of distinguishing like the online community and my home community. Home community all calls me Andrew, and everyone else in the Rocket League scene calls me Andy. In gaming, I also, in the past, I went by Andy the Roo, kind of combining Andy and Andrew, but then it just got too messy. I just shortened it to Andy.
Honestly, there's literally no like, it's not like a good reason as to why there's explosive in the name with Gyro. So my name is Gerard or Giraid, whatever, and my nickname is Gyro, and my nickname for my nickname is Gyro, so Gyro to Gyro. That's where Gyro comes from. And explosive, I pretty much knew my name was gonna be something around Gyro, and I was on PS4, I didn't know what to put as, I couldn't just name it Gyro, Gyro 2, something like that. So I was looking through profile pictures before I picked my name, and I was like, Gyro's a pretty dumb name. So I looked for the dumbest looking profile picture, and it was a picture of a bomb, and it was like squeezing its eye like that. And I was like, oh, that's pretty stupid, I'm gonna do that. And then I thought, I put it together, Explosive Gyro, and that's how it became a thing. And I never changed my profile pic because I was confined to the name. After being on PS4 for a couple of years, keeping the Gyro, I just wanted to get rid of it. And I also just, like, when you're on PC, it's cooler to just have one name instead of like a console name. It's pretty troll.
Wavy came from me looking in the dictionary for 8 to 10 hours when I was 12 years old, when I wanted to switch from Xbox, where my username was Air Phoenix, to the PC, where I wanted something more clean.
My username comes from a kid I went to high school with. Randomly, we were in a shop class, and I think he was trying to rhyme. He was a white kid who was trying to like rhyme, and Roll Diz just came out of nowhere, and it actually just stuck. I just started using it for everything, and I was like, hey, why not, bro? Roll Diz. Screw it. This guy's name is Rishi. It's like an Indian name. I didn't name him this. He got named off the pen, or in the pen, and he actually like played me, because I walked into the dog pen. I'm like just staring at every dog behind the cage and seeing like their temperament. A lot of them growling and barking and super aggressive. And then there's this guy who's just sitting there. He's just sitting there quietly staring at me. And he is like relatively a quiet dog, but he's just sitting there staring at me. So I'm like, okay, this dog is actually gonna be relatively chill out. Like, he's gonna be chilled. I get him, and not even like 10 minutes being inside my crib, he's humping everything. He's running around like a wild animal. And I'm like, bro, did I get played? Now I actually know I got played, bro, because he has one of the highest like play drives, I guess, that a dog can have. He's mixed with a Doberman and a Terrier.
Oh no.
Yeah, bro, he literally played me. Like,
my family life, I've got my parents, and I live with 2 cats. You know, we got cats about 6 months ago. Calvin and Hobbs, they're right behind the camera, having fun. We're all pretty connected, and my parents, one of them just retired, my dad, and my mom works as a page designer and team manager and a whole bunch of other things at a newspaper company.
Right now, because both my siblings are at college, I live with both my parents. I really have to thank them for the support they've given me, because I mean, I feel like for a parent, seeing that your child has to stay inside for a lot of hours of the day just to sit on their PC and play a video game, I feel like it can be stressful for them, but they've said as long as you keep my grades up, they really support me all the way. So I've made sure to stay true to that, and I just have to thank them for everything they've given me.
I pretty much just live at the moment now, like with my mom, dad, and sister. Sister's the younger sister. But yeah, I mean, that's it. Yeah, usually they have like a salmon sandwich and stuff like that. And all that, those are really good. Latte, please.
Medium or large?
Medium. I need hazelnut, ooh.
I'm sorry, your cheese today?
Yeah, this taste, thank you.
$25.97. Take a selection like this.
I love it. Love the love, I do. Do you want to sit here so you could get that, or do you like the shade better? Okay. Grilled cheese and mustard. Okay, we're at the French workshop. I don't know when the first time we got here was. It was probably like in the first year we found this place. So like, I don't know, it's like, it's cozy and like, it has like kind of a, it has like a proper vibe. Like it has like a city vibe, but like not really. And I like that. And I like, it's weird, but I like hearing people talking. Like, I don't know. I like the place.
When was the last time you had to wake up this early?
8 a.m. probably. When I went to California, for my sister's baptism, we woke up at like 8 a.m. because we wanted, it was like a vacation. Like it was after the baptism and everything was done, and we were like, let's go to whatever. I forget where we were going, and it's like a 3-hour drive. So we woke up early so that we could go there, and I was like, I slept in the car, so that's fine. I mean, we don't go out that much, but when we do, we always come to this area. We come here. We go to Mr. Wasabi, which we went to yesterday, and there's Mad for Chicken over there. We're just here all the time. It's a nice place. It's like, they're all cozy places, you know? So, and we'll shoot pictures around here. You'll get to see it, but it's a nice little place. It has like a little New York vibe. You see everyone like, I mean, yeah, little cameraman, like dinner date. On a date, kind of nervous. Is that bad?
I personally think my greatest achievement in Rocket League is making the Season 8 World Championship as a player. I think we were counted out completely going into the season. I even remember my own teammate Hoxter thought we were going 0-7. We were gonna take an org at the beginning of the start, which was EG, Evil Geniuses, and we were just gonna go 0-7 because I told Hoxter I wasn't comfortable with the teammate that we were gonna go with. But he took a chance, on my opinion on who we should pick up, and it allowed me to play a lot more comfortably. We ended up going through the season just upsetting a couple teams that we probably were never favorites the entire season. We were just underdogs. But then we made lands and upset like Ghost at the time, which was Memory, Illusion, and Atomic, I believe, was the roster. Yeah, we upset them to make it. And yeah, it was a great experience going to Spain.
Definitely my biggest achievement was making the Winter Major with Dignitas, with Trees, and Evo. You know, we finished 5th that season, and it's been kind of my biggest and most important season as I kind of broke through a little bit more. I was always a player that was sitting around the middle of the competition, and it was really nice to finally break out and make a major.
I mean, it's gonna be obvious, but my highest achievement in Rocket League was probably winning DreamHack Montreal. We were literally like the 12th seed going into it. Best, like the hardest tournament, like every team was in there, like top 5 EU, top 5 NA, and like some other like top teams. So it was probably the most competitive tournament. That was pretty important to me, like crazy win. We took #1.
As of right now, I would say my favorite streaming moment might have to be the World Championship, this past World Championship. I had the pleasure to actually live stream the entire event in one of the coolest like weekends of my life, I would say. So I did a co-stream with Reddles and Chief Beef, 2 other amazing Rocket League content creators, you know, Reddles being the pro and content creator, Chief Beef, just like me being an awesome streamer and stuff. And so it was just us 3 just hanging out, you know, doing a watch party, watching the games, providing context, just, you know, shooting the crap with each other, just hanging out. And we had the entire stadium, the main stage, everything was just our backdrop. So we were just basically on a big balcony, and we had thousands of people behind us. We had the big, you know, TV screens with all the cool lights, and definitely had that like VIP moment type of treatment where it was like, you know, we're the guys backstage. The casters were 10 feet from me, just announcing the entire thing. And that, you know, going from sitting in my car before going to work, you know, getting a Wawa sandwich and sitting in my car watching Rocket League content, watching RLCS, to then 2.5, 3 years later, being one of the guys on the stage, not the main stage, but, you know, give me something, on the VIP like balcony with the casters, and just being a part of the production in that sense. That was definitely the coolest part of my career so far, and that's one of the things I'm most proud of, for sure.
It's between 2 things, I'd say, maybe 3. It would probably be, top 2 would be getting top 4 in the 3rd open qualifier of the latest season, 2024 with TSM. And then it would also be getting 2nd place at Salt Mine last off season in Salt Mine 3. All right, so my daily life is wake up at 8 a.m. I'm at school at 9, you know, wake up at 8, take a shower, brush teeth, get ready. I normally do all my homework the night prior, so I don't have to worry about that. So arrive at school at 9, basically get through all my classes. I end school at 2:45. I get home at 3, which is I go home at 2:57. My first scrim is at 3 most of the time. So scrims from 3 to 5, 3 to 6, depending on the day. And then after that, I normally do some homework till 7. I eat from like 7 to 8. And then a lot of the times I like to stream from like 8 to 10, 8 to 11. And then normally I finish up homework. If I have a test the next night, I might study for it. And then I'm normally in bed by 12:30 or 1 on most days. Both of my siblings, my brother was like captain of the high school wrestling team, so he's always done that. My sister was manager of the wrestling team, and she played volleyball a little bit. And I've always just played soccer, a little bit of basketball since I was young.
Did it feel kind of natural, fitting that the esport you're involved in was related to the one sport you played?
Oh, I thought it was really funny, actually. I feel like stuff carries over. Because I'm like, what's it called? Because I'll be like in like a 3s game or a 2s game. I'm like, wait, this is an overlapping run I saw from soccer a couple years ago. And I'm like, I don't know, I steal some, I feel like it carries over. Like I steal some plays I do in Rocket League, I move them over to this ball is so bro, I was never a techie player. And this ball is awful. Go! I'm never a techie player. I was always a game sense player. I started playing, honestly, probably in like 1st or 2nd grade. I played all up until start of last year. I stopped playing in my junior year because that was when I really started to focus on like Rocket League, and I didn't really have the time for it.
Yeah, so this is where I train, play soccer, play basketball. It's a nice time. Nice facility. Usually at least a few times a week. I mean, it's right next to the house, so it's super accessible. I used to come a lot more before I went to college, but I use the college facilities to play a decent amount, especially because it's usually right there, right after class, so. But yeah, I often do that. You know, sports have been pretty much my entire life, ever since turned about 4 or 5. And really, I only stopped playing because of Rocket League, or else I would hopefully be going pro or something like that. Soccer, mainly. Never really played basketball until a few years ago, just kind of for fun, but basketball's been just kind of a hobby I picked up over the last 2 or 3 years while I'm at college with some buddies. You know, just getting some shots and having fun. But yeah, I mean, sports have been pretty much my entire life until I turned about 16 when I became pro in Rocket League. So I played MRL and which is like, MRL is like the Midwest regional for soccer. And I was also all-state in high school for Wisconsin. I played right wing and I played center mid. Early in my years, I played center mid, but became more of a right wing when I developed more physically. Bad shot. You know, I got really fast when I started growing because I got really long strides. I was on the track team and the cross country team. So that was able to help me a lot in soccer, as I was always kind of faster than everyone. So, as well as like the extra height gave me, you know, more reach, more ability to battle in duels and stuff like that. So, playing sports while playing Rocket League definitely bit into a lot of my time, and I wasn't able to play sports or Rocket League at 100%. But kind of, as I grew up, I realized that one of those things in my life was gonna get me paid, and the other wasn't. And so gradually the sports side kind of fizzled out a little bit for me. But it's always been a hobby of mine. Always loved playing, always loved competing. And that's part of the Rocket League side of me that kind of comes from sports, is that I'm super competitive. Hate losing, love winning, you know, the whole deal. I wouldn't say there's much of a crossover between esports and sports, other than the mentality and the competitiveness. I'm starting to lose my shot. Yeah, definitely it gives me a better edge, because it's more like I have to be willing to put in the practice, put in the time, and have the mentality of you just want to destroy the opponent. And that definitely comes from the sports side of things. Kind of just giving you that mentality where you need to win, you don't want to win. But yeah, not a whole lot else is, I'd say, transferable from esports to sports. Oh, coachability is another thing that's super transferable. I've had a lot of coaches that are similar to sports coaches, and that has helped a lot because I'm able to deal with their intensity and their competitiveness without feeling down on myself, because traditional sports coaches is a lot more critical than esports coaches. I mean, it's more harsh. You're also not working with kids. You're working with people who have played sports all their life.
Regimen. I typically do start off my week don't have like structured days where like Monday's typically chest day or Tuesdays leg day, whatever that is. But if I start my week, it's chest tries. Next day is back bis. Next day is legs. And then I typically rest right after that. And then right after my rest, I do shoulders, arms, and then I'll do back bis into chest tries and then reverse it pretty much. I typically like to go like 5, 6 with one rest day in between. But yeah, and then I'll just like, I don't really have a consistent like week, you know what I'm saying? Like where Monday is chest day, Tuesday is back day. Like it's like whatever day it falls on. It could be like a Tuesday where it falls on like chest that week, and then I'll start my week that way. Yeah, I can outlift like 90% of the Rocket League scene, but someone I can outlift probably, yeah, I can outlift Fisher for sure. For sure, I think I can outlift Fisher. He's a big dude though, he is a big dude, but I think I got him.
Outside of streaming, what I like to try and do is just anything active. My job does not revolve around activities much. I kind of just sit in this chair, and that drives me absolutely insane. I'm not really a homebody. I get cooped up pretty quick. And so normally what I'll try to do is I've got an electric longboard that's got a decent range. So I'll try and just explore the whole area. And plus, it's honestly as similar to snowboarding as you can get in Florida, so there's that. I invested in a nice trampoline, that way I can get some nice cardio in, and plus I just love flipping. And again, snowboarding, if I get used to being in the air and being wonky, then when I go snowboarding, I can try maybe a 360 or some funky flips. I just recently got into flying drones. I bought a FPV drone because right now my ankle is injured, and it's like I sprained it, so I can't really do, you know, the active stuff. And I figured, what could I do that's interesting that doesn't involve moving? And FPV drones feels like flying. It's awesome.
I mean, so this thing, I mean, I'd like to go to parks with it. So if I can go to a park, it's way cooler, just because there's like more things to look at or just to go around with. But I mean, you really can't beat just getting in the backyard and being able to do whatever. Cool. All right.
I totally missed it. Hey.
Be surprised at how powerful these fans are, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. There we go.
Before I moved to, come on, get up here. Before I moved to Austin, I was in Pennsylvania. I was living, that's when I was living with my family still. I think my town had a total of like 3,000 people total in it. I think my graduating class was like 102 or 112. Bro, when I moved to Austin, it felt like so refreshing to be in a city where there's like people everywhere. You don't go into the convenience store and see the same people you graduated with. I think everybody works in small towns, they don't really like, they're like kind of stuck. That's why like I used to tell a lot of my friends that I grew up with, when they saw me move, they were like, bro, when you coming back? This and that. I'm like, bro, God willing, I'm never coming back. Like I can't go back there, bro. Because the people doing the same thing they were doing when I left. And I'm like, you guys don't ever grow. I'm like, you guys gotta come out to Texas, bro, see something. See something. The women, way beautiful, way more beautiful. The weather, weather is way better. Like, I actually moved for the weather. The women just happen to be a plus.
Yeah. Live nowhere else. I like it there. It's nice and cozy. Not super big, but it's comfy and it's nice. Yeah. I mean, most people move at least once, but you know, we're happy here. We got the mortgage paid off already, so might as well stay. Yeah, this pond, when it froze over in the winter, we used to shovel it off and play hockey or soccer, just with our shoes, slipping around, having fun, getting hurt sometimes, but it was all worth it. Really fun experiences over here. Go fishing sometimes. Nothing's really changed about the ponds. I think the closest thing is, I think the water levels are maybe a little bit lower than what they used to be, but I think that's just about it.
What is this one?
This is Bayside Station. So like, I take this train. It's like, I don't know, like $5, and it takes you to the city. Like I
don't go to the city.
I do go to the city sometimes.
With who?
Myself.
Yeah.
I went to see like a WrestleMania event in Madison Square Garden, and I took the train to the city. I honestly, I think I go to the city like less now than when I lived in New Jersey. Like I would live in New Jersey, and it's like an hour drive to the city, and we would go like once a month maybe, because my cousins live in New York. But now, yeah, I don't know. We never go. We literally live like 15 minutes away from the city, and just like, it's not like an adventure because it's 15 minutes away. So, what if a train comes by now? Dum dum. Oh my God! I'll make the train noise. Dum dum dum.
How was that?
Chugga chugga chugga.
No, I didn't.
So, the lady of the house, my lovely, lovely wife, Megan. I have known her now for about 8-ish years, and we've been together now for about 7, 8-ish years, somewhere around that range. We met kind of with, just happenstance, good old Tinder, and, really a love story for the ages with that whole thing. But we were both on the app just kind of as an ego boost, right? And she messaged me first, and she loves saying that. And, it being a Tinder love story, you don't really expect much out of it, but it was actually kind of cute. So we met on Tinder. She messaged me first because in my bio, I had like a pro and cons list of goofy stuff. And at the bottom it said, P.S. If we get married, we have to come up with a better how we met story. And so when she messaged me first, she said, so what's our story? And I gave her 2 options. We met as kids, like 12 years old on a cruise, had like a little cruise fling, never saw each other. After that, didn't stay in contact, and we saw each other randomly, like at the supermarket or something. And then boom, fell in love again. Option B, which is the one that she went with, New York City, New Year's Eve. I saved her from a mugging in the middle of a dark alley, all right? And then boom, New Year's Eve kiss, easy. She picks the New Year's Eve kiss, we start talking, bada bing, we're together. And we got married this year, so pretty recent. We got married 7/7, so it's easy to remember, July 7th, right? And we just got this lovely house, and man, we're really just kind of living the dream in that side of things. Have nothing really to complain about. We've got 3 awesome dogs. Our relationship is fantastic. We really just exist very well together, and we complement each other very well.
So you were telling me about how your students are
Obsessed with him.
are big fans.
Yes.
Big fans.
They write
That's
essays
interesting.
about him. They ask about him all the time. They're always in his chat. I'll go and sit after school, and they're like, Mrs. Brose, it's so-and-so, or whatever. Tyler, can you convince Miss Brose not to give homework this week? I'm like, no.
I do need to make sure
Yeah.
I watch my
He's
profanities.
he is a reward, so we do like behavior points, and they earn points, and they can redeem points, and he is a redemption where they can redeem lunch with Tyler. Yep, he was a bingo prize before. We did a 5th grade fundraiser. He was a bingo prize. And also that very fundraiser, we had a brand new principal. He was just transitioning to our school. And it was like one of his first weeks there. And we had the 5th grade fundraiser. And they were advertising like Tenacity will be there. So he came and he set up a table, and there was kids who came not for the fundraiser, but just to get a signature on their controller for Tyler. And so my principal was like, who's this guy and why is he signing controllers? And I had to explain it to him. He's like, hey, whatever brings in the money.
Some people understand the concept of the job, some people do not. You know, she really is the driving force behind all this, not just in the literal sense, but also she's the reason for all this, more or less. She supported my stream. You know, I knew her long before I did content. And so not only did she support me while I was trying to get successful with all this, but without her, I don't think I would have been successful, because one of the main reasons I got to the point where I am is because of TikTok and posting content to TikTok. Well, when TikTok first started, she was all over it, and I gave her so much crap for it. I made fun of her. I'll be honest. It's like, you know, she was always on the app, and I'm like, "What are you doing, man? TikTok? Like, come on, you're just wasting your time." She was like, "You really need to download this. Maybe you're streaming. Why don't you post a video? You know, like clapping back at me, like, why don't you do something on it?" And then I did. And then I went kind of viral a few times. And then people started coming to my Twitch stream. And those people sometimes subscribed. And now we have a house. So you know what?
What do you tell people when they ask, like, what does your husband do?
I tell him that he does video games and that he does like Twitch and YouTube and all that fun stuff. And normally they're like, oh my God, because it's normally from the
really
kids. They're like,
encompassing.
what?
It's multiple things under one banner.
Yeah.
I just say content creation.
Yeah, I'll say content creation if it's like somebody from like an older generation or something like that. But if it's like my kids, because mostly my interactions are with 11-year-olds. So
they understand.
A majority of the people that I talk to on a daily basis.
Mostly, but
yeah,
it's a little bit of everything, because
but not all of the kids have Twitch and like watch all that stuff. They don't. Not all of them know that.
YouTube and TikTok.
Yeah, so I tell them, I'm like, well,
the Twitch wouldn't be anything without the YouTube and TikTok. So
yeah, well, and I tell them, I'm like if they're like, oh, what does that mean? I'm like, oh, he'll go live on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, and they're like, oh, and then normally somebody else will be like, Twitch too? Yes, Twitch too.
Yeah, I mean, Rocket League's definitely a thing where you can continue to do for as long as you can. And so are sports. I can definitely see myself playing for a long time, both sports and Rocket League, because as long as one of them, as long as they both don't conflict with each other, in a sense where I have to work in both fields, which won't happen, then I can make it work. It's a nice hobby to have, keep myself fit, you know, and it's a nice healthy way to stay fit, stay sharp, stay healthy, and have some fun with friends.
I mean, my 1 to 5 year from now is to, I don't know how much longer, like, well, specifically like esports is gonna last. I know it's not like a forever thing that you do, so my long term is to take the money, all my earnings here, also enjoy all the time I have, especially like competing, because I still want to win. Like, I mean, that's just my drive. Like, I just want to win shit. Like, everything that I do, I want to be the best in. So since I couldn't do it as a player, I want to bring like success to some young kids and also teach them like more of like the shit maybe they don't know in life yet, since I'm a lot older than them. I think that like I'm like a bigger brother to them, and I can guide them to a more mature path than a lot of these kids have. Also, in that, I think that it's gonna help me like branch into, I wanna start a business where I'm like personal training. That's also gonna help with the coaching. It's just gonna give me more experience dealing with people and learning how to progress people in a natural way rather than like trying to force them to do it my way, because everybody's different. And then on the side of that, like what I consider to be my 9 to 5, it's gonna be like software development. So I just like staying on the computer and then coding away. and then make bank that way. So that's like my 1 to 5 year.
Long-term goals, well, I'm definitely planning on going back to college, studying. I'm hoping to be a coach whenever I'm done with Rocket League as a player, because I think I have a lot to give in the play style aspect and understanding players. But right now, I'm just trying to play, just still trying to make majors. I think that's one goal I really want to achieve right now. And yeah, I mean, after that, I'll just have to decide what I want to do, but school most likely.
It's really hard to say what I hope the future holds. I mean, I'd say 5 years from now, I hope I'd still be, competing. I'd probably be in college at that time. Hopefully college, succeeding in college at a good college, still find the time to be a pro player, still get my hours in, and then also have the time to have a social life and, make content as well. Being able to do all 4 of those things in the future, that would really be a dream. That's what I look forward to doing.
Right now we're at Kava. Just messed up a bowl, you feel me? This is a block away from the gym that I used to go to every single day. It's a Gold's Gym right around the corner. And like 15 minutes in that direction is the place that we used to live at in a little penthouse with Noli and Arsenal. So yeah, me and Arsenal used to walk to the gym together some days until he would get a little bit inconsistent or I'd get inconsistent with it. So yeah, we'd motivate a little bit, each other a little bit to get to the gym. But yeah, this was my route. I think what draws me back to Austin is the people. They're very personable. It's easy to find friendships and people who are open to discussing whatever it is. But they get deep in conversation rather than everything being so surface level. And I don't know, I just can't do the day-to-day surface level chit chat. I'd rather get to know somebody for who they really are and what they really believe than talk to somebody about how the weather is going and what do you do for work and things of that nature. That's not important to me.
We didn't really even know much about esports when Dylan, when Wavy started playing. What? You want to do what? You want to play esports? But we saw how much he enjoyed it, and he seemed to be pretty good at it, and he was having a lot of fun. So we supported him because we knew it was something he wanted to do.
So that would have been what? 14?
Yeah.
So
I looked at.
freshman?
No.
Not even.
He was in high school,
He
yeah,
was
I
still
think
in
so.
7th, 8th grade. Well, he came to us when he was, 12 or 13. And we were a little concerned because he was getting a little older and he was playing a lot of video games. And I grew up in an age where you were not supposed to be playing computer games. That was bad for you. Bad, the more screen time you get, the worse it is. Mm-hmm. We were concerned that it could affect his grades. So we said, look, you're a 4.0 student and we don't want you to lose that. You can keep playing if you can continue to keep your grades up and continue to do the things that make you successful at what you do. And he's like, Dad, this is something that I could do long term. And I said, well, what do you mean? And he goes, well, I can make money at this. I'm like, well, what are you talking about?
We had some rules though, right?
I mentioned those.
Yes, rules. You had to do well in school. So that was number 1. You had to play a sport, an actual, because he would say, I'm playing esports. I'm like, no, an actual sport.
I don't think I could have said that.
Where you get out of the house and actually see people and, compete and play a sport. So he played regular soccer for a long time. He was on his school soccer team.
But Rocket League's a fun game. It's I don't know that I would be quite as embracing of it.
If it was Call of Duty or something.
Yeah. I think the fact that I can rationalize,
he
that
played soccer already.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It made it,
and
this one just has rocket-powered
Yeah,
cars.
this way we could rationalize, spending most of our Thursday and Friday and maybe Saturday and hopefully Sunday watching Rocket League. But yeah, I think the fact that there's not a lot of shooting and destruction in there is something that we're
demos.
more comfortable. There's some demos.
It's demos, but it's the cars getting hurt, not the people. So it's, but it's such a fun game to watch. And Andrew's grandparents think it's a trip to watch the games, and Andrew's grandmother really enjoys 1s and 2s. She's like, oh, I find it so fun to watch.
I hate ones and
I
twos.
know. I said,
Yeah, it was an interesting progression, but I could tell pretty early on. When he was really little, like 6, 7, he was already very good at like any Mario type game. And then when we got Rocket League, he was 9 years old. And I played a lot of video games myself. I was very good with the Xbox, but we only had it for about 3 weeks. And at that point, he couldn't play with it, or I couldn't play with him anymore because he was already getting that much better at it. So we knew from the beginning he had something.
I feel like on past teams, we really haven't had like a mechanical masterclass. Like we've had to more break down, get some good plays started. But I feel like with this team, we can really have mechanical breakthroughs with just all 3 of our mechanical skills. We're good enough to just get through teams. And then I'm also excited to play under Raul or Roldes. I really like how he coaches. I'm excited to really combine with this style and find what works.
On the next episode of The Deleted Scenes.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you want?
Oh, absolutely. I'd live somewhere in the Rockies, somewhere that's close to a ski resort for sure. Snowboarding is by far my favorite activity of all time. I love the mountains. I personally like the cold. I kind of run hot, and with the right equipment, I'm good to go. Something about flying down a mountain on a piece of plexiglass or wood or whatever, it just makes me feel alive. And so I'd want to live Colorado, Utah, I don't care, just within an hour drive of a ski resort and I'll be happy.
So you're sure you can't come out to Utah with us?
Sorry, I can't, man. I have a tournament to play in.
Well, you're missing out, man. See ya.